Somebody should translate in the local language. Somebody translate in Akaramajong.
Ikimalai woni ya kapolo ni yok balai wanda da mata.
The Deputy Prime Minister, the ministers, the labor leaders, all the other leaders, and members of the diplomatic corps, and the wananchi of Karamoja.
Ikimala tana inyeli woni dadan. Agia woni ntuwangu ya lokinga. Kape ikangulu ikitieka wani kwa tuwane boko ya Prime Minister. Kana ituoni Karamoja wadada.
Because we have been here for a long time, I will try to summarize, translate for them.
Ayaka eboi wani anege akawoyan. Achamte na yanga kronugo atubutubu ni uwaka.
Now, there is a word in the Bantu dialects called Enshoni. In Uganda it is Ensonyi. This is when you feel embarrassed or ashamed to do something bad.
Eya kroto mune ya itoma na kituki mune gelegelea. Na itera kroto na ga ale chitingina terio toriam era kikipiya kikia etichimolete mognogitia.
And that Enshoni is the one which makes you avoid doing certain things because people will look at you badly.
Rena itingina akroto na atemarebe ale chitingina teritungana nto yakaunori apaginete mognogitiyeti.
But we had a name in Ankore, Nshoninche, the one who has no shame to do anything.
Anna ina bodu wangi nyankole eya kroto ne bokoi itungana ni nyemeli tatemari nyeti yatangunarno kori itungana ni nyamam nyekere.
How do you say it in Akaramajong? The one who has no shame to do anything.
Atami ibore bokoi wana alaerere nyebi ni krea itungana ni nyemeli tera alaerere tiyeti chikwangne chamito.
Would be who?
Alaerere.
Arairen.
Alaerere.
There are some irons in Uganda. Translate. I'm saying because the opposition and those who oppose NRM are really
Nera ngitunga ngulu etiakara neni yogori ngule boko yoni ngulu ko opposition era ngitunga ngulu ya lair
Tebalna Sonyi, they have no shame, no embarrassment.
Era ngitunga ngulu lair ngulu ya mam ngakre milito kiti ya uni nguna iti ya unte abali kele nguna ke nguna.
Now I am glad you arranged this May Day in Nakapiripiri in Karamoja. Alakara
na iya na kolongite na nera ikiaitu wani ngadu bananugu ikitale ngadu bananugu na kolongite na alokari mojo ngana kapiripiri.
So that you can ashame the Iranian people.
Anera anikitiya wani ngakronugu kia wini ngadu bananege ikilema wani alairere ngana lege yakatari ngitunga bali boko wani tiyata.
You had these labor union leaders, they were with me until late in the night in Entebbe. But they drove and got here in time, even before me, for the meeting. Now this is because the roads are good. And there is security. So you had you had localists was telling you about the road.
Ikipoto de kontarela lokato kolokeris gori papa yo kolokeris iruoronga krongo na ajua kamune tapito
About the electricity.
Iruoro tarenguna kalai. na ka ngale wangi tunga
the immunization.
una ka kideme yori
That's why the population of Karamoja has gone up.
ingedi to kona kideme ngin koria ngale ungin ngedi aina kinyo ko tunga ke atakin.
Those young people you are talking about, young people, were you not marrying in the past? Where were the children?
Ikwa kona tara lo ya ngolangi tunga nguya boko iwani ngulu chichiki ngulu ngulu polo ete ikite wone bitongole yakata.
The children were dying. The dams. So the situation is moving. There are some mistakes in the Ministry of Works. By some of those planners, you find new roads are good like this one, then the old roads are allowed to deteriorate. That's why the road from Kampala to Jinji is now not so good, yet this one far away from Kampala is good. And the one from Mitiana to Mbende was allowed to deteriorate. But we are stopping that bad planning. Once a road is tarmac, it will not be allowed to deteriorate. And the Maram roads will also be maintained. And we shall continue adding to the length of the tarmac roads. Therefore, on the issue of jobs, the pessimism expressed by the RIRN, you write it for me. How do you say it? You write it for me. Somebody write it for me. Therefore, the pessimism spread by groups like Monitor. Monitor is RIRN Monitor. Is wrong, and they are going to be ashamed.
So ngitungana ngulungulu tiete de ngakro na rono kong epote ngilej akirumu ke yana ra tiete ke ngakro na rono.
As we stand today,
ikwangna ki ya kare wana kolongitina,
according to the figures they gave me from UBOS,
aloto ma una potungwa UBOS ko ringulu tungangulu marete ngtuma kwa ina ke ya ngwan.
There are 1.4 million workers in the factories. You check how many they were, 1986, those who were in the factories. In agriculture, there are 3.6 million. In services, there are 5 million. In ICT, there are 46,000. Now, the jobs in the public service are 480,000, all the public servants.
ngalipionga meyango mwana ngatomoni kan kauni.
Therefore, even where we are now, the jobs in the private sector are many more than the jobs of the government.
Ate marna itar to konani ni ya kai wani nege elala kangi tuanguluti ya te tichungola alokenga aklo ngule ya napukan.
And we are just beginning.
Kaya raina inaga geunen.
Now where we are moving now,
Nena ikone lozio wane ya.
Agriculture alone
Akitare mono bon.
will create so many jobs.
Ebunia akitare bon ake ataki ni tijizio ngulu itana.
As the minister was beginning to explain to you, Minister Beta Mongi, when somebody gets money of PDM, he creates wealth. Ebari first.
Yes.
You create ebari. It is the ebari that creates jobs. You cannot have what we call jobs, aswam. Use the artist, so aswam is easier for me.
Okay, sir.
You cannot have aswam without abari.
Kire ngone kwangana elimuntori ngeli abangel kire nyiria mundo yonga barriera kama muyongo etich.
Whether the abari is of the government,
kare abari taringolo ka apukan.
Like the man who spoke, Bamwesije, the abari he's talking about is government abari, it's not his abari.
Ikwa kwana etwana ni ya territory mu akroto kugoro changa gro kwangana mam nyugoro atamare ebe abari ngolo keng.
He's head of Uganda Civil Aviation Authority.
Ikwa leke kilongolo leke goro anege eranye ditwana ni epologiniti ebishongola akandeke.
Which is the government parastatal. So it is the ebari of the government, but creating aswam for the people. But the private abari, like the factories, the farms, those also create a lot of jobs for the people. I will give you here one example of the man in Fort Portal. Give me that man, what is his name? The one in Fort Portal. Nyakana, yes.
Bangi da chamticheni ainaki nieda kidikwane tengana etwane be Nyakana. Angine ya Fort Portal. My name
is Nyakana Richard from Rwengaju. This village is called Rwengaju village in Karabarole, Fort Portal City. And where we are here is my home and it's my farm. The biggest landlord in this village of Rwengaju is having 7 acres. People are surviving on quarter an acre, half an acre. 80% of the population here, they are on half an acre, they are on quarter an acre. This farm and this home is seated on 1.25 acres. It is surveyed land. And 1 acre of land here, where we are here, is costing 80 million Uganda shillings. It is very expensive to buy land. Our farm is called Kana Farm. It is having 4 economic activities. Number 1, we are in zero grazing of dairy cows. Number 2, we are in poultry, majorly for layer birds. Number 3, we are in feed processing for livestock, and number 4, manure production. With the poultry, we have 8,500 chicken, and they are in a chick stage, grower, and layer. Those which are laying are giving us 120 trays of eggs, which we are selling at 12,000 shillings per tray, which gives us 1,440,000, and the cost of production is 1,140,000, which gives us a net balance of 300,000 per day as profit. With the feed pressing plant, every day we are processing 1,000 kilos or 1 ton of feeds. We are selling these feeds at 1,850 per kilo, and the cost of production is 1,700. So on every kilo we are making 150 shillings times 1,000 kilo, that is 150,000 shillings per day as net balance of profit from the feeds processing plant. For the dairy zero grazing section, we have got 8 cows. Out of these, 6 are mothers now. The 6 mothers are giving us 120 liters of milk every day. We are selling our liter of milk at 1,000 shillings, farm gate price, and which gives us 110,000 shillings per day. And the cost of feeding them is 50,000 shillings per day. That leaves us with a balance of 60,000 shillings per day as net profit.
To summarize what Nyakan is saying, he has got those 4 enterprises on 1 acre, 1.2 acre.
Chente iklurunyikiringa krongone balanya kana ngun. Balanya kana kilia karingeli ngake rupunga dikidiocha. Ata mirar tere tare una ba karingeli. Ere peye kanen ere nga milionio atomonikan kaunia kigel. Chamtena ikone president yoka klurunyikiringa krone rali wane jok.
He has got hens for eggs, which give him more than 1 million a day, 1 million shillings a day.
Aloto mafam na nyakana ngin. Yang kokoro ngulu nana kinete nyedi ngilinga pe million aloto ma kolonge kotere ngabe yi.
And he is selling milk, 110 liters of milk per day, and he's getting money for that.
Egialna rida na baloto ma ke fam ngakile kai diamonte ngilinga ngulu pe yalala.
He has also started making animal feed.
We didn't
have time to show, but what I wanted to show you was that from those activities, on 1.2 acres, he's employing 15 people now. I don't know. I don't know whether they can show us the people who are working there, the people. The workers, show us the workers. It will take time. I know that he's employing 15 people now. And that's 1 acre. I have given you an example that if Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land,
ate marebe ani monoko na kerangi ne yakatari Uganda ngia kaya nga milioni nga tumoni omon.
Now, if we had just 7 million of us using 1 acre,
anna ikwa na nga ngekani nga milioni kanikare wani bon ikatakinta gistia ngia kanyi
in activities like the ones of Nyakana. Not necessarily this, but maybe coffee, maybe other things, but intensive agriculture on a small on the 1 acre.
Merata marebe agiti yang agro karanguna ikwete una angamuja una ngitiang. Naisha giti ye teaching ole arangolo ka fam.
7 million out of the 40 million.
Ate marebe nga milionio nga kanikari yaloto mauna dege tomoni umonongon.
Would create 105 million jobs.
Ngezi ate marebe arai karanga na itia wani ngitu nga milionio kanikari ni. Kaya nakini wani ngitu nga doliti ape alipio a milionio ape mi atangakani.
There will be so many jobs that you shall not have enough Ugandans to do them. And you can get other examples. For instance, you get Joseph Ijara of Serere. Let's see what he's doing.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I am the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we also make laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti, and that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually I was having 1,500 local chicken around. I was very famous for local chicken. So but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day. And each tray goes at a price of 10,500. So approximately about 3 million shillings a day from the eggs that we get. Of course, it varies depending on the cost of the feeding, but at least a half goes for management, a half goes to our pocket as Taifa. So after selling the layers, that money I invested it on dairy. I started dairy with the 4 cows. But you know, I multiplied very fast because I'm using AI. I have my own semen bank here, so I do artificial insemination. And then I also got a vet who was able to train some of us here with the veterinary knowledge. I think
you should get time and watch those films from the good performers. But Joseph Ijara sells 310 trays of eggs per day.
Ejoko chenche wani akitere ngichengu kote ngula loto mangatwa ngu yeni wani. Na ite tuwane boko Joseph ni. Yapala giala na ringeri. Nga tuna nga beye. Une doliti nga menga uni. Une de parito nga menga uni nga kolongi.
And he's getting 3 million shillings per day from eggs alone. Then he has got cows, which you saw, like in Nyakane, but in a small area. He has got cows, but he's getting 320 liters per day. And in a year he gets more than 1 billion shillings from 2 acres. For him it was 2.5 acres. And when he removed the costs, he remained with about 800 million shillings. And he has created more jobs than Nyakana. I think like 30 jobs or something. So therefore, the Alayere should shut up. We are going to create more jobs than the jobs in Uganda. And the formula, which is universal, you create wealth, whether it is of government or of individuals, and the wealth creates jobs. And in order to create wealth, we need to ensure the following things, which you should concentrate on. Low cost of electricity. Low cost of transport. That's why we are building the railway. The railway too is cheaper than the road. Yes, we are tarmacking the roads, but the roads are good for passengers. But cargo needs the railway. Railway is cheaper, and the railway and water transport are cheaper. Because that's how the wealth creators will be encouraged. If they have low costs, they will make profit. And if they make profit, they will be encouraged. Low cost of money, like in the UDB or PDM, this is money with low cost. Low cost of the internet. That's how we shall accelerate the creation of jobs, and the acceleration of creation of jobs will accelerate the creation of wealth, and the acceleration of wealth will create the acceleration of creation of jobs.
kinya kuni wane geli tingolo angiboro koria lo liting na amoto kay korinyo e buni borenda danga ke atagin borengini kitanti one.
Even here in Karamoja, people are waking up. There's a boy I visited near here. Let's see that boy.
Tariwana nakapiripiri tane bangi ye dia ngole ye pe oya ngolol nin. Ngola kolongiti aga bunti amka weria munodi kanyeli. Ngole giri chente wan kaira le ngole gloroni.
Aturum Parish Lorega sub-county under Namalu and Nagapiripiri district. When I stopped from my studies, I sat home for around 3 years when I was not doing anything with either government. Little am I knowing, God will bring you in the early place. When it reaches around 2020, a rumor of PDM came, and we were the first people to receive money from Nakapiripiri. I received $1 million. I rented 4 acres of land, and I was able to harvest 14 bags. Now from my harvest, I sat down, I see my left and right of myself. I just say, God has given me this reward. I picked 10 bags. That's 1,000 kilograms. I took it to Sorot market. They bought a kilo at 1,700. Out of the number of bags I took there, I was able to get 1,700,000. When I came back, I have a friend of mine. He has not got, he's having wisdom, he's having knowledge concerning how to rear these things. Because he was once assisting someone from those ends of Kampala, rearing these pigs. He instructed me that you misusing money in other businesses. You introduced about the piggery project. And I bought 5 pigs, at 80 out of 1.7, which is equivalent to 400,000. I remained with 1.3, I picked 700,000 for buying the land. Now I remain with 600,000 out of 1.7. I remain with 600,000.
Now that is a boy who is near. That's a boy who is near here.
He had
dropped out of school. And he had nothing. But when he got the 1 million of PDM, he hired 4 acres. He didn't have land, he hired. And grow something that I had never heard of. That is called green grams. I have never heard of them. Then he sold the green grams in Soroti and bought pigs. By the time I was there, he had about 35 pigs. He was now employing himself. And his mother, I think, was also working there with him. Maybe they had even got somebody to help them. So this is the way. The Alayere should stop diverting you. Those are useless. Concentrate on what NRM is telling you.
atemar na iwani ngutwang lukaya na rem dadang aneni yai ibore jok akiri chakin borengini kenagin diyapuganna.
I was glad to hear Okecho, the trade union, talking about the markets. Once you start producing, then the next question is who buys?
Abudaka ngolakari no ye raila ka to wangole ruorane kola bala kire andri kai yakatari yo borongu yakatari ngezilinga itemo no biwa glo teach ngola jokon.
So if you are serious, you now be talking about the markets of East Africa, of Uganda, of West Africa, of Africa. Otherwise, who will buy? If there are so many eggs, so much pigs, who will buy them?
Anna itikre karatara yo to ni munik nitino yo konti ngolo iria muntori akonikia ki wari tropo to kana yo kagiala kangulia lwaka nera ngai nai kone pedori wana gigele ngborol dada loto mane peine ke iko kona wanda ankare mojong ete mogino tara kona gorengini warta wan market ngola lokinga.
I was telling these workers leaders yesterday, if you are workers, you should be talking about patriotism, love Uganda in those factories. Everybody should be taught to love Uganda.
Ani biene ke ania ya wanketi ya kanchie abua ngolimo ke ya temarebe andro ke chamto wana temarebe leki matike ya kauni angini tunganani wane amena ya kokap Uganda tobali yong ayong ati itunganani ngini ya Uganda iti ya iborebe ati.
Why love Uganda? Why you love Uganda? Because you need it for your market. The market of the products your factory is producing, from which has given you a job. Pan-Africanism, we must love Africa. Because the internal market of Uganda is not enough. So all those things, NRM has already told you everything, but people just keep wondering, going up and here.
Ngakronda danga dawaku gane yokwali mokini woni ebitongolo itemogine boyoto wamenada yakopap na ite yawo ni je ngube ya laere mulunye bupete ngakro.
So once you have patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, that boy, the boy of Nakapiripirit, is being transformed from a jobless boy to a boy who is a money maker.
Kire ani mena yu akoni pap mena yu Uganda imena papa ngana nkiriono ya mambore kingopi ni yong ekwa kwa ne dia ngolo yokongolo yana nyeti ngolo ngola na tunu ngolo
socio-economic transformation, you must become new people.
Then
we can add on international solidarity. To negotiate with the Chinese, with the Americans, with the Europeans about selling to them. But we need to strengthen our own market first. Market of Uganda, market of Africa. They are here. They should be consolidated. That's what you should be talking about. Monitor should be writing about East African integration, not writing rubbish, which they always write every day.
And then pay down Temokino one, young lady, Temokino, Amenatara, Kara Nege, Koriking Adam. Kotera Topatana young in Borechem, the young Agila,
They are agents of foreign interests. But we shall defeat them as we defeated all those traitors. Now, yesterday, I had a discussion with the workers' people,
ani biyeni ke ani ang kanketia.
As I told you, we are going to discuss more in June, but internally within the cabinet, we are going to take up the issues also. The issue of the minimum job, or minimum wage. The issue of the tripartite. No casual labor. We shall end casual labor. And we are going to lock up all those employment agencies which go between the people, the workers, and the employer. We also talked about the issue of the threshold for pay as you earn. We talked about the issue of the foreign labor. The companies which bring foreigners to do work which the Ugandans can do. We talked about the government supporting the labor centers which were being supported by foreigners in the past. We also talked about the low cost of housing for workers. We had a serious discussion and they were listening very carefully because me, I'm not a joker. I'm not Chuchamtuma. Banyankore have a saying. Chuchamtuma. Ngwenjiasia atumunyare mbiame. A stupid Munyankore. His house was on. He was told that your house is on fire. Then he said, "Prepare a bed for me to sleep." Sleep where the house is on fire. So we always handle the situation the way it is. But the way we discussed, the things are moving they are moving in a rational direction. Minimum wage discussed by the tripartite. And sector by sector. That's a realistic approach. So we are going to discuss more and conclude. I have noted the other points raised today. Like the workers' representatives in the different groups he mentioned. The free trade zone and so on, the ones he mentioned. And circles for workers supported by the government. But I think you, the workers, should also emphasize the issue of free education for the children in government schools. I don't know why you don't emphasize that. So finally, the Karamojong here. I am glad you are now peaceful.
Anna itika ye Rwanda danke rak ebale president ala karanye lipotere yere akna pakna nyira maginete ankanya tapapa katata.
You say you love cows, but actually you hate cows.
Gigi badele be mena de baren ane ngolegini yango big ron kinte de baren.
Somebody who loves cows like me, I cannot steal a cow.
Itungana ni mena ibaraz te kwayo ngaperia ngaroto gini nkoko na bong barena iwache.
And I don't steal a cow not because I don't want to harm the owner of the cow.
Bangeri nyaperia ngakoko ibaraza nere nyacha mitingi na baru kitika itungana ngini kailope ibaraza ngini ya kokona.
Which is also a godly issue. God will be happy with me if I don't steal.
But
I don't want to bring into my cows a cow which I don't know whether it is sick or not. My friend in Kotido gave me a cow. But I took many months without accepting it. Although I didn't want to offend him, but I said, no, you hold on, let the vets first check it. Because I didn't want that cow to bring diseases to my cows. So what you are doing now in this region, Turkana, Kenya, all these South Sudan, stealing cows, you are actually enemies of cows. Your own cows and the cows of others. You saw Ijara there. Ijara, the one of Serere. You saw Nyakana. Their cows cannot mix even with the neighbor's cows. That's why they are safe. They don't meander to pick a disease. They don't meander. They don't interact with other cows. Even the boy with the pigs now here, the one I visited, I had to help him get a sengenge to make sure his pigs don't mix with other pigs. That is what we, the cattle lovers, do. We don't mix our cows with other cows, because if you do, they will die because of disease. I therefore congratulate everybody on Labour's Day. And I thank you for sponsoring me for president next year. We are going to discuss the proposal will be put to SEC, and we shall inform them that the people are supporting this, they are supporting this. Alakara noi.
Alakara noi, akan nabo.